Gung Hei Fat Choi Falcons, Happy Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is one of the most celebrated holidays in the entire world. And we are looking at a beautiful tapestry today. It is called a dragon tapestry, and it hangs in a monastery in Tibet. This tapestry has many things that we have been studying this year, and I wanted to see if you can find them. We see many kinds of lines in this tapestry. We see wavy lines. See what other lines you can find. I heard somebody say horizontal lines. We have a horizontal line going across the whole thing. We have some jagged lines. We also see many different shapes. We see circles. We see organic shapes. And we see color. There are so many warm colors in this tapestry because red is considered good luck in China. That is probably the reason the artist chose to use this color as the main background. Those warm oranges and yellows give us that feeling of a dragon and the heat of his fire. Today's project is going to be about dragons, so I hope that we have a great time. Today we are going to be using lines and shapes to create Chinese dragons. You will be able to use any colors and designs that your mind can imagine, but we are going to start using shapes and lines. You are going to need the following: a sheet of paper. I chose a plain white one. I find that the easiest to work with, but work with what you have. You will also need a pencil with an eraser. This eraser is not so great, so I should fix that for myself, because if I make a mistake, I want to be able to erase it. I will also need a black marker. I like Sharpies, but any kind of black marker works. And your colored pencils. So gather your materials and we'll get started. We are going to put our paper down. You can choose to do it landscape or portrait. It's up to you. I'm going to put my paper down like this so that you guys can really see what I am doing. And we are going to be using lines and shapes to create our dragon's body. So I am going to start with a triangle. You do not need to use a triangle, but I am going to start with a triangle. You can use a square, a circle, an organic shape that has no edges. And we're going to make our dragon's head. From there, I'm going to take my pencil and create a curvy line. And at the end, I'm going to then put another triangle. Again, you can choose whatever shapes you want and make your curvy line any way that you want to. And I am going to use this as the basic template for my dragon's body. From here, I am going to create, using lines, the rest of his body. I am going to show you how I am using a jagged line to create the body of my dragon. Just going up and up. I am saying jagged, but I often have also said zigzag. So if you feel confused, I mean a zigzag line. And I just zigzag it down. And I'll do the same thing on this side to give that dancing dragon kind of feel like we see in a Chinese New Year parade. I now have my dragon's body, and I'm going to go back in and add details. I need to give my dragon some eyes, so maybe I'll do some half circles. There's all different kinds of shapes I can use, and that is where your creativity will come in. Yours does not need to look like mine. I'm going to add some lines, some circles. I also need to add some really cool elements like some big ears. This is an organic shape. I'm kind of just using my imagination to create something. And I'm also going to want to give my dragon 2 circles. I'm going to give him this to create that dragon nose. I'm going to use some lines. I'm adding details, and there's really no right or wrong design for your dragon. If you want to, I can create texture by using little half circles like this all over. It creates a kind of bumpy feel that we would see on a dragon, that dinosaur-y reptile feel that is often something we'd imagine would be on a dragon. I've never actually seen a dragon in real life, but I have watched cartoons and movies, and this is what I imagine dragons would look like. If you have a different idea, be sure to include it in your picture. You can keep going and add other elements, including wings, tails, fire. Maybe I want to add some fire to my dragon. The possibilities are endless for you to create with your dragon. When you have finished penciling it and you are happy with what you have, I want you to take your black marker and go over the lines. I have finished outlining my dragon and going over my pencil lines with the black Sharpie, and now I am going to take out my colored pencils and add colors. I've decided I wanted to add a warm head, so I'm only going to be using warm colors on my dragon's head to have that feeling of fire. Remembering warm colors are reds, yellows, and oranges. I want to also add some cool colors to my dragon just because I think it looks cool. And I'm going to start blending my colors. There is no right or wrong way for you to be doing your dragon. Just make sure that you color the entire thing. Blending colors is really fun with colored pencils because you can just go right over the edges with each other and slowly get darker. And it gives that body that cool effect. And if I want to, I can slowly start moving towards warmer colors by blending. I'm using that whole color wheel and rainbow effect to blend my colors and create sort of a tie-dye feel that is going to go throughout the whole thing. Rather than make you watch me color, I'm just going to skip right ahead to show you my finished dragon that I made earlier. This one is very similar, and if you notice, I did use the entire page, and again, had our excuse me, how I talked about, I started with those cool colors and moved warmer, and then I got cool again, ending with a cool tail. But my head I kept warm because I wanted that warm fire feeling, and there is really no right or wrong answer. When you are finished, you will need to ask yourself those important questions. Did you follow directions and use shapes and lines to create a dragon to celebrate the Chinese New Year? Did you use good craftsmanship? Was this neat work that you're proud of? And were you creative? If you can answer yes, make sure you sign your name. All great artists sign their name to their work. Make sure you click and upload the picture and share it with me. Gung Hei Fat Choi, Falcons!